Hello there. Boris is off to Saudi Arabia to get our hands on non-Russian oil. So the Prime Minister of the UK, Boris Johnson, is forced to travel to a country where they executed 81 people over the weekend so that we can get hold of some non-Russian oil. And it is hoped that Johnson's close personal relationship with Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman will get Saudi Arabia to increase its oil production to at least part fill the gap that would occur should the West totally cut off from using Russian oil. Now, US President Joe Biden was completely snubbed by Saudi Arabia recently when Biden wanted to talk to Saudi about increasing oil production. And there are two issues at play here. First, the Crown Prince wants legal immunity over the assassination of journalist Jamal Khashoggi in 2018, where the CIA pointed the finger of blame directly at bin Salman himself. And second, unlike the US, the UK has not ended arms sales to Saudi over its conflict with Yemen. So UK ministers are hoping that UK calls to increase oil production, so bringing prices down, will be listened to. But they've also been forced to say that Boris will have a stern talk with the Saudi prince about human rights issues at the same time. Uncomfortable to say the least. Or will both sides just treat that as lip service? Now, some will ask, why can't the US step into the breach and produce more oil? Well, according to many sources, the US is already the largest oil producer and oil consumer on the planet, with Saudi in second place and Russia in third. But from what I can see, the US consumes more than it produces at the moment, while Saudi and Russia export a fair chunk of theirs. But last week, E&E News Climate Wire reported that just as the price of oil spiked, the US lost production from 3 wells, taking the number down to 519, whereas in 2019 it had 800 rigs. And it seems that the sharp slowdown the US experienced after the pandemic started is not easy to reverse. And their report says that many analysts are saying it will take time to increase US oil production, however many new licenses Joe Biden issues. The West really has made a pickle with its energy security, with the US upsetting the Saudis, then refusing to acknowledge Nicolas Maduro as the president of oil-producing Venezuela, as well as indicting him for drug trafficking and putting a $15 million price on his head, and imposing sanctions on the Venezuelan oil industry in 2019, but then trying to get Venezuela to sell them oil when this Ukraine crisis blew up. And guess what? The US had to cool that one after getting pushback from both Republicans and Democrats in the US, as well as from the Venezuelan opposition. We really have planned our way very carefully into an energy security corner led by the US, haven't we? And in the West, we'll do absolutely anything to get our hands on oil and gas, except in the UK by holding back using our own for fear of upsetting a few eco-types. And we have for decades flatly refused to plan ahead properly with nuclear energy, leaving us completely stuck when the wind doesn't blow, the sun doesn't shine, and we're at loggerheads with Russia and potentially the Saudis.